Jenna Bell as always. So I am re-reviewing a movie that I did way back when I first started my channel. You guys are gonna find out how much I freaking love you guys. So I am re-reviewing Cabin in the Woods from 2011. Now I know there's a lot of you guys who really like this movie, really are fans of this movie. I think it is one of the most overrated, dumbest pieces of shit ever. With that being said, though, let's do our review. So basically, this is a movie, obviously a group of kids, group of teenagers, college students are going camping, going to a little cabin in the woods. Obviously, it's pretty self-explanatory, but little do we realize, or I should say this group of characters realizes that they are kind of the chosen ones for this sort of reality TV show type thing. And what do you know? This reality show is basically killing off these kids who are pretty much sacrifices to appease this, like, ancient whatever that could inevitably just kill the entire world and destroy the entire world if it is not appeased. So that is your basic premise. Now basically, I mean, this is like filled with a lot of tropes and everything. This is probably best way to describe it is a cross between the first Scream movie and The Running Man. Basically, that's what it is. It's The Running Man, basically horror-fied, I guess. If Running Man was a horror movie, it would be this movie, basically. But yeah, I mean, it's filled with, like, those, like, sort of tropes and everything. Kind of does, like, with what Scream did in the first one, where it kind of, like, sort of explains certain things and everything. You know, kind of like, okay, whatever. But this one, I just feel like it fell flat in its execution. I mean, it like, on paper, it just, like, trying to describe it, like, yeah, it sounds like it should be a really good movie, but it's stupid, and here's why. I feel like this movie, it insults our intelligence as horror fans. Like, that's what I feel. Like, it's insulting my intelligence. Like, especially towards the end when, like, Sigourney Weaver's character is trying to sort of explain, like, what's going on, why this is being done and everything. Like, she explains, like, well, that you guys are sacrifices, it usually needs to be, like, about at least 5 people. You gotta have your, usual people to kind of pick off for their, for whatever reasons, like the horde, she's broken and everything, she's gotta pay her dues, because she's a damaged person, and, the jock, and the bookworm, or like the studious type and everything, and then the Joker, who's like the pothead and everything, and then like the virgin, and the girl even kind of too is like, the virgin, me, really? She's like, yeah, Sigourney Weaver's like, well, we kind of like make do with what we have, so it's just like, we know this, and it just like, like, I feel like I would have enjoyed this a little bit more if, or actually, I should say, I would have actually enjoyed this movie if it was done, like, maybe a little more humorous. Now, not, like, saying slapstick humor like, the Scary Movie franchise or anything like that, but just some, like, a little more, like, say something more like Night of the Creeps, like that sort of, like, sense of humor and everything, not take it so damn serious. And then here's the thing, because there is some humor in this. There is, like, the pothead, when he comes, shows up on the scene, he's got this, like, big ass bong that looks like a little coffee tumbler and everything. And of course the kids, these college students, are like, oh no, dude, you can't bring that. Okay, first of all, anyone at that age see their stoner friend pulling up with some weed and stuff and, like, the essential smoking tools, usually are not gonna be like, no man, you can't bring that, like, really? really, that goes against most of, like, the horror movie tropes right there. I mean, obviously, I know, sometimes you get those, like, like, a character or something who's like, oh, like, the pot and stuff, no, or, whatever, but it's just like, oh. Like, for every trope that they, like, kind of nailed, there's another one they just kind of, like, threw out the window, and it was like, no, there's, like, maybe, like, an exception every, like, 300 horror movies. I'm just saying. It just, God, this movie, God, it's stupid. So yeah, it goes from kind of, like, the little, like, humor such as that with the stoner to, like, the end where it's, like, it's so serious and everything, and it's, like, it's almost like they couldn't choose, like, a tone of the movie with this, and it just totally epically failed. Um, and then, like, the Bradley Whitford character, who's one of the guys who's, like, kind of, like, making sure that everything goes kind of, like, according to plan and everything. Of course, his little trope is, like, the irony part, because he makes a sort of like a quip about one of the guys making a bet, being like, okay, Aquaman, like, okay, like, the sea creatures never come out. He, of course, gets killed by a sea creature. It's kind of like, which, I mean, that obviously happens, I mean, I think one that comes right to mind off the top of my head that works really well, that I really like, is from Zombie Strippers with Robert Englund's character. His character in that movie is like this very, like, OCD germaphobe strip club owner and everything, and he's always like, oh, dirty filthy whores with syphilis and this and that and everything. What happens to him? One of these zombie strippers who has, like, whatever STD sits on his face. He now has, like, all these sores and everything because he's got, like, syphilis infested crabs and everything on his face, and they decide to keep him alive to run tests on him because and that's his little, like, do justice and everything, but it's like, that worked, like, you knew that was coming, that worked. This, it just, God, it's stupid, it's so mind-boggling stupid. And then I feel it's almost like a M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong type of thing, where it's like, oh, well, we have got this scenario where it's like, okay, any number of things can happen, like, such as in any sort of, like, horror movie. Hey, we kind of introduced this idea, let's go ahead and show off every sort of, like, creature, zombie, ghost, monster, spirit, whatever, that you can think of to let loose in here. It's like, there's so many things about this movie that it just, like I said, I mean, I know a lot of people really enjoy this movie, and, like, I respect that, but, like, why? This is insulting your intelligence. It's basically calling you stupid. Like, I call bullshit on pretty much all of this movie. I really fucking do. And, like, I don't mean to troll you guys on that. I'm not trying to. I'm really not. Like I said, I respect if you guys like this, but it's just, this movie's playing us. I'm just saying. It just, I think I could maybe like it at least somewhat, have maybe some sort of, like, appreciation for it, or maybe have some fun, if it wasn't so, like, oh my God, it's not that great of a movie. It really isn't. Whatever. I mean, like I said, I mean, you guys, those of you who do enjoy this movie, that is awesome. Like, I'm glad that people do enjoy this movie. Just, for me, it's one of those that it's so overrated that I'm like, it's not that great to be that overrated. I'm just saying, and I've seen it before, like, a lot of movies could be considered, like, overrated. So it's not just, like, this movie, but this is just one of those that pisses me off, because, like I said, it insults our intelligence. It basically tries to, like, do, like, a Scream and, like, explain things. And even, like, Sigourney Weaver's, she said something, her character said something sort of along the lines of, like, oh yeah, certain things kind of change over time. Like, yeah, okay, that's, horror movies have changed over time. It certainly has changed from when this came out back in 2011 and the first Scream back in 96. So yeah, like little things like do change, different things, different tropes, different horror stereotypes do change and stuff. Like I do admit that, but it's just like it just a lot of things in this movie just were not executed correctly. I feel it's not that good. It couldn't pick a tone, and it's a clusterfuck, basically. It's a clusterfuck. More power to if you like it, but you guys, I'll tell you right now, it's way too overrated. It's not that great of a movie. It really isn't. And I like a lot of like kind of dumb movies. Kind of like those like, yeah, they're really not that great, but I have fun with them. This one, no. Not when I feel like it's trying to pretty much say that myself and all my horror freaks and weirdos in the community are stupid because we don't know our horror movies inside and out. I'm just saying, this, no. You guys need to, like, not give this one as much love. Go ahead and like it. Go ahead and like it. Have an appreciation for it, but do not give it as much credit as it deserves. It doesn't fucking deserve it. I'm just saying, whatever. You know. And by the way, too, because going back to kind of like the stoner and stuff, like, when the hell did the stoner usually survive before, like, the studious one or the jock? I feel like the stoner, like, depending on who dies first, the whore or the stoner drug user, whatever, usually are not surviving longer than the jock or the studious one. Maybe the jock, but the studious one, come on, dude, come on. Just saying. By the way, that chick that was supposed to be the virgin, I'm sorry, she should have freaking died too. I'm just saying, because you know what? She's off boning her freaking college professor. In a lot of horror movies, I feel like that would be grounds for termination. I'm just saying. Not always, I know. But no, it's like, I guess the horror did kind of cancel out her sleeping with the college professor, so I guess it's alright. I mean, I guess it does. Whatever, but still, it's stupid. Okay, so that's my little rant. You know, I once again, I apologize for kind of seeming like I'm trolling people who like this. That was not my intention. Really, it wasn't. Like I said, if you guys like it, I know I said that a number of times in this video. If you guys do like the movie, more power to you. It, like I said, it just. And you guys know, especially those of you who have been watching me for a while, you guys kind of know I'm pretty forgiving with, like, dumb movies or terrible movies. I'm not even gonna say that this is, like, one of the worst movies ever. I just think it's one of the dumbest. It's big difference. So, I'm just saying, in case you guys are like, what? It's not the worst movie. I'm not saying it's the worst. I think it's just one of the dumbest. One of the dumbest. So, I won't even say it's the dumbest movie I've ever seen. Just saying. But no, if you guys do like this movie, I mean, more power to you. Let me know what you guys like about this movie. If you guys are like me and think it's stupid, let me know what you hated or disliked about this movie. Let me know in the comments. Until next time, you guys, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.